Good morning, class. Today's mission is for us to start and complete checkpoint 2 on the Summit platform for science. First, let's talk about computer usage. You will be using your laptops. If they need to be charged, you're of course welcome to use the charging stations. Otherwise, you need to be in your desk working today. I also want to enlighten you that we will have visitors in the building, which means it's even more important to make sure that your browser doesn't go anywhere it doesn't need to be. And you have a sub, so that's asking for a lot of participation on your part. Second of all, I want to kindly remind you that anything you have on your screen, I can see, and I will be accessing that throughout the day. So please make sure that when you're on Summit that you're only utilizing the resources that you need to use and you're not venturing off to other places about different topics. We want to make sure that all the research we do today is really relevant. Because you will be doing research today, it's really important for us to review really quickly what are places that are not good places to look for research. So really quickly, not so good resources would be Facebook. Okay, now for granted, there are some news and different publications that are on there that would be worthy of putting in your research, like if it's a National Geographic or something that comes from a website that originates from a .edu website. Wikipedia is definitely not a very good resource. Anyone is able to edit that, so that means that I could have edited it, my mom could have edited it, you could have edited it, and that's not necessarily fact. That could be really based on opinion. A lot of .com websites are not going to be really good resources because they're not fact-checked. So you want to make sure that you're using resources that don't end in .com unless you absolutely find something that you think is worthwhile and reliable. And we'll discuss more about that when I get back to class tomorrow. Blogs, those are mostly opinions, and we want to stick to factual evidence when we're doing research, especially for this article on human impact. And we definitely want to make sure that we're not utilizing secondhand information. So if you've heard it from somewhere else, you don't want to use that in this research. Places that are good websites to use are going to be articles, academic journals, .edu and .org websites, and that's just because they are educational websites. They're meant to be certain organizations, and those facts can be more reliable than .com resources or blogs that are more based on opinions. So be sure when you're doing your research today that you're leaning towards these more factual-based evidences than anything else. Today, you're going to go into your year view of your summit. You're going to click on that first project for me, Shrinking the Human Footprint. You're going to go to the checkpoint 2, which is labeled Collecting and Summarizing Sources, and that's what you're going to complete today. On this, there are 3 different columns at the bottom. In the first column, you are going to copy and paste your sources that you use. So if I pull up an article that I want to use, I'm going to copy and paste the URL and put it in the first column. In the second column, you're going to explain why is it a strong resource. Is it because it's a .edu, a .org? Is it because of some statistics that are there? What are you looking for that is making you believe that this is a reliable resource? And you're going to explain that in complete 8th grade sentences there. In the last column, you're going to write down your notes from that resource. So as you research, you need to really look and invest in what you're finding and write down the information that you need to save from there, because this is all going to go towards our final project that we use to create that magazine article about human impact. Under that checkpoint, you're going to see that there's 2 different resources. One says Starter Resources, which is from Summit. You can click on there, and it's going to look like that starter source page that some of you used that says water, transportation, food, electricity. And then on the side, it's going to have hyperlinks, so little blue links that you can click on that takes you to a resource that's already been found for you. That is a great place to start, and I encourage you to look there. Additionally, because I've seen a lot of your topics, I knew that some of them were a little bit different than what the Summit had provided, so I created a resource of my own also. So for those of you who are looking at bottled water, garbage barges in Japan, marine impacts about oil spills, you're going to want to look at the extra starter resources. And those also have hyperlinks that you can click on that are already sources that you can use. So after you look at these sources, you can go ahead and start putting them into that 3-column checkpoint. However, you need to add your own resources. We want you to also be able to research on your own and add those resources to your list of things that you're looking at for your article. Make sure that you're following the directions on that checkpoint. I will be checking throughout the day. Work really hard and do not abuse this time that you get to have to freely research. Most importantly, I really want to encourage you to have a really good day. Make sure that we're making progress on Summit. Remember that we do have visitors in the building, and I'm so sorry that I can't be there. I'm also sorry about the quality and boringness of this video. It typically would not be this terrible, but I could not figure out my iPad this morning, and I'm doing it from my iPhone, which is new for me, and I'm already late to my meeting in Hazard. So please work really hard. Know that I'm checking on you throughout the day. I can't wait to see what kind of progress you make on your research today so that we can start working on our final product very soon. See you guys soon.